We've all seen them. Powered industrial trucks, commonly called forklifts, are very powerful machines. There are many types of forklifts. They range from electric motor rider trucks to internal combustion engine trucks. There are even ones used for rough terrains. They can be used to raise, lower, carry, stack, and push objects in a variety of settings. Ultimately, each will make your job easier. Today, this program will focus primarily on electric motor and internal combustion engine trucks. Before you can successfully operate a forklift, you'll need training on the basics, including overall visual inspection, lifting and transporting, safe operating procedures, general hazards, what to watch out for during operation. OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, requires that all operators have a strong working knowledge, training, and certification to operate a forklift. Unfortunately, each year thousands of forklift-related injuries occur, but are not always reported. That's why safety needs to be your number one priority before, during, and after operation. Let's begin. Before you operate the forklift, start by reviewing the operator's manual. This should be found on all forklifts. Inspect your forklift. Check the fluids and make sure they are at the appropriate levels. Depending upon the forklift you're working with, this may include oil, water, hydraulic and coolant fluids. Next, check for leaks, cracks, or any other defect involving the hydraulic hoses and mast chains. Check the tire pressure and condition. Inspect the top clip retaining pin and heel on the forks. And check all safety devices to make sure they are working properly. Most importantly, check the rating decal for the proper amount of weight your forklift can handle. Knowing the weight capacity is just one step in making sure that you are using your forklift safely. When operating an internal combustion forklift, you'll also need to check the gas gauge, LPG tank, locator pin, and hose. After the initial pre-operation inspection, forklift operators should then conduct what OSHA calls an operational inspection. The difference now is the engine is running. Here's what to look out for. Pump the brakes. Check steering by turning the wheel left and right. Inspect the lights. Raise, lower, and tilt the forks. View the lamps and gauges for proper levels. And honk the horn. You'll want to make sure each is working properly. Finally, always be aware of the possibility of overheating, leakage, or a mechanical breakdown. Should any of these occur, the forklift should be removed from service and repaired by authorized personnel. Now that you've inspected your forklift and have determined it's safe to use, let's turn our attention towards lifting and moving your load from one place to another. First things first. Before anything is lifted, make sure that the load you are picking up is centered. Carrying a load that is not properly centered may cause either the load to fall or the forklift to tip over. When you pick up a load, approach it slowly and carefully. Adjust the forks so they are at the correct height and that the truck is centered to the load. Next, level the forks. Move the forklift ahead so the forks are entirely under the load. Once positioned correctly, Double check that there is enough overhead clearance prior to raising the load. When raising the load, first tilt the mast back so the load is resting on the center of the carriage. Never tilt a load forward. This could cause everything to fall. Once tilted back, raise the forks to an appropriate level off the ground. Never drive your vehicle with the forks elevated. This is an accident waiting to happen. With the forks tilted back and in the proper position, you are now ready to move the forklift at a safe speed. Now that you are ready to transport your load, there are several important things to remember. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE. This may include hard hat, safety glasses, and steel-tipped safety work shoes or boots. Before entering the vehicle, clean and dry your hands to prevent slipping when grabbing the handhold. Check your shoes for grease. And never hold onto the steering wheel when entering the forklift. Always watch your footing, as well as your head when mounting or dismounting the vehicle. Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times, and obey posted speed limit signs. Operating your forklift correctly and at an appropriate speed will allow you to stop in a safe manner. Maintain a safe distance if more than one forklift is traveling in the same direction. OSHA recommends that you keep at least 3 truck lengths away from the nearest forklift in your path. Do not attempt to pass other forklifts that are traveling in the same direction. If a forklift is stopped in front of you, use caution if you need to proceed. Honk your horn to let those who need to know that you are moving forward and it's safe to pass. Slow down for wet or slippery surfaces, and use caution when maneuvering around these hazards. When crossing railroad tracks, approach them diagonally whenever possible, and do not park forklifts within 8 feet from the tracks. When approaching a corner or a cross aisle, slow down and sound the horn. A couple of short blasts should do the trick to warn others that you are there. If you have to drive over a bridge plate or dockboard, stop your vehicle and visually inspect if they are properly secured. Note the weight limit, and if allowed, proceed with caution. Some loads may obstruct your view. If this happens, travel in reverse with the load trailing. If you travel with a load on a path that has an excess of 10% grade, the load should always be facing upgrade. Once you're ready to offload, make certain that everything is stable before setting the load into place. First, return the mast to a 90-degree position. Then, carefully lower the load and slowly reverse the forklift. If placing the load on a stack, return the mast to 90 degrees and carefully raise the load into position. Slowly reverse the forklift until you are clear of the stack. Return the forks to their original position just off the ground. Forklifts are meant to be driven solo. Never carry passengers. Misuse of your forklift can result in disciplinary action or even worse, dismissal from the job. Warning: operating a forklift can be hazardous to you and others. It's true. There are lots of potential hazards you'll need to watch out for. Sometimes distractions, by either the forklift operator or other personnel, have been known to cause serious harm to people, structures, and machinery. Avoiding forklift fender benders or other accidents requires operators to maintain situational awareness at all times. One of the main hazards for any forklift operator to watch out for is a falling load. Having a load falter can occur when picking up or traveling with a load if the mast position is incorrect. Safe operating speed and weight distribution will prevent your forklift from tipping. Tip overs can also be caused by turning your forklift too sharply. Never turn with your forks elevated or on a grade, and always come to a complete stop before changing directions. While operating your forklift, cell phones, for example, can be a major hindrance. What we don't want to have happen is forklifts running into or over other employees because the operator is talking on their phone. So remember, a distracted forklift operator could lead to mishaps. When parking your forklift, select a level and solid surface. Fully engage the parking brake, then slightly tilt the mast forward. Lower the forks until the tips touch the surface. Never park on a grade unless chocks are used. Remember, an attentive forklift operator promotes a safe work environment. Operating forklifts safely requires know-how, common sense, and situational awareness. Be sure to inspect your forklift before each use. Raise and lower forks with caution to prevent falling loads or tipping. Operate at safe speeds and transport loads with care. Maintain a solid working knowledge of the rules of the road. Don't let distractions prevent you from doing your job properly. Remember, an environment without injury or accident is a safe workplace for all.